Former President Jacob Zuma says he is not afraid of being arrested or convicted. His foundation issued a statement this morning saying Zuma will not cooperate with the State Capture Commission of Inquiry. The Constitutional Court last week ordered Zuma to appear before his efforts at frustrating the Commission's work is unacceptable. Zuma says it's clear to him the inquiry, the judiciary and the Constitutional Court have been politicized. For more on this story, we're joined via Skype by political analyst Sandile Swana. A very good day to you, Mr. Swana. Former President Jacob Zuma defying a Constitutional Court order and will not cooperate with the State Capture Commission. What does this mean?
It's an old Zuma approach, which is to politicize. He is in fact politicizing this. Now he wants to go to jail, basically. He wants them to send him to jail because if he is in contempt of court, they must actually arrest him. So he wants to be in jail, not for corruption. Not for corruption. He's going to go to jail for contempt of court. And in his view, he's positioning it with all his supporters that he is just being politically targeted and being treated differently from everybody else who has been subjected to matters of this nature. So he knows probably that even the corruption case that is going on the arms deal might send him inside, and he may not be gathering enough momentum to actually defeat that case. So, but he wants to go on a clean cause. He's actually trying to create a clean cause for him to go to case and have a clean cause against the state. So politically, he's put himself in a very good place.
What are your thoughts, though, about the actual points he raises? He says that there's a constitutional crisis in the country that's imminent because there's a clearly politicized segment in the judiciary. He says he's completely defenseless against the commission. Also saying that the Commission of Inquiry into allegations of state capture should have been named a Commission of Inquiry against him personally. Your thoughts about that? The Constitutional Court and the judiciary, yes, here and there could be judges who may have behaved inappropriately. And many times, some of those who behaved inappropriately, such as Justice Hlophe, may have been instigated by Zuma himself to behave in that way. Secondly, most of us and those who believe in the constitutional democracy have been very pleased during the Zuma presidency, where the Constitutional Court was able to make constitutional decisions independently of the legislature and independently of the cabinet, and did not overstep its authority. The issues that needed to be attended by Parliament even then, it sent them back to Parliament to rectify. Those that needed to be rectified by the executive, send them back to the executive. So the idea that the Constitutional Court specifically and the justice system in general is being used by, in this case, it has got to be the Ramaphosa administration. That view is totally mistaken. And the fact that he is stripped naked and he cannot defend himself, that is not so because the right for him not to incriminate himself was explicitly protected. The right that he has been stripped of is simply to remain silent. He must speak, but he is not obliged to incriminate himself. Yeah. The former president has been implicated by more than 30 witnesses in allegations of state capture, the latest being last week. Why do you think he doesn't want to clear his name in the commission by appearing and answering to questions?
In the social media some time back, he circulated a video in the Zulu language where he was querying this idea in the ANC, where people are eager for commissions of inquiry, saying, if you are running a government, there are many underhanded things that you do whilst you are running the state.
So why would you want to invite anybody to come and investigate you? Because they have things to find. So Zuma is not confused that there are things that if they were found, he would have been found in violation of the PFMA, the Public Finance Management Act, and many, many other acts in South Africa. So Zuma is not interested in clearing his name in that sense of saying he has done nothing wrong. What he doesn't want is simply to go to jail. He does not clearing his name. He's just trying to avoid going to jail. And he wants to use the masses of South Africa behind him to force politically Ramaphosa and Parliament to actually find a way of pardoning him for all his criminal activities that he has conducted before.
So he also says that this is a democratic government built on constitutional values, behaving like the apartheid government in creating legal processes designed to target specific individuals. He's even making parallels between himself and a late PAC leader, Sobukwe. Do you think there are parallels? Or point of comparison?
Think you must remember that this is a political statement. This is not a straight legal statement or a scientific statement. It's a political statement. I think it's fancy political footwork that he is using there. And when he makes the point that there were many cases before that she was not going to be able to complete during her term of office as an individual, but those could have been continued by her successor. So there was no need for her to single out this case of Jacob Zuma and say it is so urgent that it needs special arrangements, including the setting up of the commission. And the commission, in the beginning, was said it was going to work exactly like the public protector in any case. So he makes a convincing political argument. But of course, these arguments that he's making politically may make sense politically, but they've been tested in court and he lost those arguments in court.
So he's thrown the ball into the court of the law enforcement agencies. What do you think will take place now?
The Constitutional Court is not going to listen to Zondo or any other person, the NPA or the Hawks or any other person. And they told Zondo in their judgment that it was not even necessary for him to come there because the powers that he wants from them, he already had them. He should have either subpoenaed Zuma or arrested him and compelled him like any other witness. So Zondo has got no choice now but to actually send the police to go and fetch Zuma and put him in jail.
Yeah. Do you think President Ramaphosa will be forced to intervene?
President Cyril Ramaphosa needs to be very careful. He needs to stay out of this and leave Mukweng and his judges to deal with this issue, the Chief Justice that is. Thabo Mbeki, if you remember, started this idea of intervening in the processes of justice when his friend Jekisi Lebi was charged by Pikoli. And similarly, Kgalema Motlanthe intervened decisively in the Zuma case when Zuma was charged the first time and eventually fired Pikoli, who was the chief prosecutor in South Africa, the national director of prosecutions. Yes, politically, I do not know. It can happen that Ramaphosa actually intervenes, but the precedent of that has been a catastrophe for this country. It collapsed the security cluster totally. All aspects of security and justice have been collapsed by that decision, starting with Thabo Mbeki, to intervene in the Jekisi Lebi case.
Yeah, let's thank you, Mr. Sandile Swana, for your analysis this morning. We'll continue to talk to different people about how they consider this letter that came out of the foundation, dated the 1st of February 2021, saying it comes from what Dunuse Homestead and from the Nxamalala area. And in it, the president says, the former president says quite a few things, but in the end, saying the commission into allegations of state capture can expect no further cooperation from me in any of their processes going forward if this stance is considered to be a violation of their law and let the law take its course.